I'm Kath. Welcome to my channel Made by Cath Craft. Thank you very much for joining me today. So the last few videos I've filmed, if you've watched them, you've seen that we're talking all about what I've been wearing in Made in May. Today though, I'm going to talk about what I've actually been sewing in May. I've sewn more than I expected. I had my son's birthday. It was quite a busy month with one thing or another, so I didn't expect to get so much sewing done, but actually I got more done than I expected, so I've got a few things I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So yeah, let's talk about those. Before I get started, just to say we've got the window cleaners coming around our road today. They do all the houses, and they're really nice guys. But so if I suddenly look really startled, it's because the window cleaners just appeared at my front room. But hopefully it won't be while I'm filming this vlog. But yeah, if I look a bit shocked, that's why. Nothing awful's happened. So yeah, I've had, as I said, a very busy month sewing, and some of the fabrics I'll be showing you might have seen from my previous vlogs talking about what I'm going to sew in May. So I'm pleased to have sewn a few of those up. And the first one I'm going to start with is this dress here. And I've got the actual dress, and I'll put a picture up of me wearing it as well. And this is the Deer and Dome Myosotis dress. And it's my second go of making this dress, and I made it in this beautiful double gauze fabric from Atelier Brunette. And it's got these really cute little sort of spots. They're kind of a goldeny coloured little embroidered spots on it. And this fabric came from SewMeSunshine. And then I also got, this is the first time I bought Atelier Brunette buttons. But I got Atelier Brunette buttons from I was making a small order from Guthrie Ghani. So I added on these Atelier Brunette buttons that they stock at my Guthrie Ghani to match the shade of the dress. Because without being able to go to my local haberdashery at the moment because it's closed, I'm finding it really hard to match buttons. So I wanted to make sure that there was a good colour match, because I think red's quite a tricky one to match. So I did use some actual Atelier Brunette buttons, and they are lovely, and they do go so nicely. So there, yeah, this is my Deer and Dome Myosotis dress. So yeah, I'll put a picture up of me wearing it. It's got I added the waist ties, the long thin waist ties to give it a little bit of shape around the middle. And yeah, it's the let me show you the picture of the dress. So I've done kind of a combination of the versions. I've done the ruffle at the bottom, but no ruffle on the sleeves. So yeah, there's no ruffle on the sleeves. And one thing I really enjoyed doing when I was making this dress was I decided to try to use French seams for the whole thing. It is, the fabric is lovely, it's double gauze, but the threads do come off quite easily. I've still got a few threads on here from when I've been sewing up actually. So I thought adding the French seams will just really help to make the garment last longer. So I used a couple of tutorials online, and one of them I found really useful. It's by Kittenish Behaviour on YouTube. I'll link her below. But so if you do fancy having a go at French seams, I found her tutorial. It was about how to sew inseam pockets, because this has got pockets, with French seams, and it was really useful, really clear tutorial. So I'd recommend it. So yeah, I used French seams all over. So I'll show you how the inside of the dress looks. Oh, the only thing I didn't use French seams on was the ruffles, because I thought they might end up being a bit too bulky and with the ruffly bits in the seam. So I overlocked the ruffle where the ruffles join. But if I show you the inside of the dress, you can see I sort of French seamed the shoulders and the pockets and the side seams, and I think it's a really lovely finish, and I'm really pleased to have tried it. And what I also found is it helped me sew a little bit slower, because sometimes I get so excited about sewing something I do tend to rush it a little bit, but using the French seams it forced me to sew a bit slower and to make a really lovely finish on the inside. And I'm really happy with this dress. It's really comfy. I guess it's not like maybe an everyday dress, because it's got more of a frill, it's a bit more full, but I'm hoping I'll be able to still wear it on like a family day out for a picnic or something and get some lovely wear out of it. So that's my first one, which is the Myosotis, and the fabric was from SewMeSunshine. It is lovely. My second one is another one of my fabrics that I would have shown you in my May fabric haul video. This is lovely viscose twill by Mind the Maker, and I made, and I'll put a picture of me wearing it, the Estuary Skirt by Sew Liberated. And I'll show you a picture of the skirt pattern. Here it is. And I chose to do a version with inseam pockets, because it's a shorter version of the skirt that I made, and I thought that the patch pockets would be too heavy for a shorter version, so I added inseam pockets because it's always useful to have pockets. And so I shortened it and added the button placket that I've added is entirely faux, because it's got the elastic at the back, so you can pop it on easily anyway. And I did wear this in May as well, so you might have seen me talking about it in that video. So it's lovely fabric. It's got a lovely it's quite kind of a viscose towards. It's a bit heavier than viscose. It's got a lovely drape to it, but a bit of body too. And yeah, it's really nice. And I found I've heard the Mind the Maker fabric can be a little bit tricky for pulling with I've seen a few people talking about it being a bit tricky with pulling, but I didn't have any bad experiences with it. I used a Microtech size 60 needle, which I always find is really handy and really useful for a delicate fabric. And the only bit I've got a slight pull on is where I hand sewed on the buttons, but I don't think it's too noticeable, and I really love it, and it's got a lovely swish. So that was my second make, and that fabric came from Lamazi Fabrics. It was a remnant, because you need a fair amount of fabric for the estuary skirt because it's quite a full skirt, so it kind of uses quite a width of fabric. So that was my second make for May. And what was next? Oh yeah, the third make. Those two I've used both those patterns before, but then my third make was actually a new pattern for me, and it was this pattern here, which I've got the front page here somewhere. Oh, here we are. This shows what it is. It's the Georgie Dress by Sew Over It. So yeah, this is lovely wrap bodice. It's a bit of a ballerina-esque. That's what makes me think of ballerinas, sort of cardigan. You can either make a kind of a fuller skirt or a gathered skirt, and I made the gathered skirt, which is what is recommended for a lighter fabric. That's version 2. It says version 2 requires lightweight fabric such as viscose jersey. So I used a viscose jersey for my version of the Georgie dress. So I'd seen some lovely versions on Instagram, and I really wanted to have a go of it, and I've never made a wrap dress before. I wasn't sure if it would suit me, but I'm really pleased how it turned out. I'll put a picture up of me wearing it, and I've got the actual dress here. It's lovely fabric. It's from Minerva, and I think it's Lady McElroy viscose jersey. It's really soft, really light and nice and stretchy, and it's got it's green with a kind of geometric pattern on. And I don't wear a lot of green, so it was nice to add something like that to my wardrobe. As you can see, that's the bodice, and it kind of goes into a gathered skirt. And the skirt came out really long on me, so I took a few inches off that skirt. I think I maybe took about 5 inches off or something, because I'm not a big fan of how midi skirts look on me anyway, so I think it comes to just around my knees now, which I quite like. And yeah, so it was a really lovely sew actually. It was surprisingly quick sew. I used clear elastic on the front bits here, that just down the front of the bodice here and here, and that's really good. That's recommended in the pattern, and it's really handy because it really stops the top front gaping. It holds it nice and tightly against your body. And then the other thing to mention with when I was making this is I lengthened the bodice quite a lot. I think I might have lengthened it by 1.5 inches because I had read online and seen a few versions talking about how it does come up quite short, and I have a fairly long body anyway. So what I did was, there's pleating down here, and it calls for 2 pleats on the pattern, but I added in, because I'd lengthened it so much, instead of just spreading the 2 pleats out, I added in a 3rd pleat. So I've got sort of 1, 2, 3 pleats here, which I think worked out fairly well, because I really like how it ruches there, and I don't want to lose that effect by lengthening the body. So that's what I've done. So yeah, I really like it. I mean, it's quite wintry, so it's not necessarily suitable for the weather now, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out, and it's really comfortable. Oh, and the bodice is fully lined as well, so it should be quite cosy. You can see there, so that's the sleeve, but then the bodice is fully lined, so it should be quite cosy for winter. And it's a bit different, so I'd really recommend the Georgie dress if you are looking for a kind of wrap style dress. I think it's really it looks lovely on, and it's well constructed, so it does sit nicely. So my next make was actually not one for myself, and it's another one I mentioned in my May fabric haul, and it was a pair of pyjama bottoms, and I'll put a picture up and I'll show you them here. And these pyjama bottoms are for my husband, in this sort of check cotton from Minerva. It's quite a lightweight cotton, so perfect for sort of a pair of lightish weight pyjama bottoms. And I'll show you the pattern I used. It's this Simplicity 1520A, so it's kind of pyjama bottoms and shorts for the whole family. So I thought that'd be a handy one when I was first starting sewing. Yeah, it was quite nice revisiting it actually, because I remember when I first made this pattern, I found it really quite tricky, and I got really confused as to what you sewed what to make sure that the trousers didn't get stuck together in the wrong way, and it felt much more straightforward this time round, so that was nice. So yeah, there's not too much to say about that one. It's quite basic, and it was quite nice to do a quick sew for my husband. I'll probably be using this pattern again soon for me, because I do find often that I can't get the fine pyjama bottoms with enough length for me, so I like the fact that you can make them yourself and make them a little bit longer, and also that there's so many funky fabrics out there to make something fun. My husband wanted something fairly simple, but yeah, that was a nice quick sew in between a few more of the complicated sews of my dresses, so that was that one. And then next was, this fabric, which I think I talked about a couple of months ago. It's a kind of spotty, sort of dotty white jersey with black spots on, and I really wasn't sure what to do with it. I got it initially thinking pyjamas, but I just wasn't sure. And so yeah, then I just finally decided one day that I really want to use it, and I was wearing my Tilly and the Buttons Tabitha dress, and I thought this would be nice, the Tabitha dress, and it's such a comfy dress, it'd be nice to have another one in my wardrobe, so that's what I made, and here it is. So yeah, this is from the Atelier Buttons Make It Simple book. It's my second one of making these, and I'll show you the pattern, how it looks, because I've got it here. So this is the Make It Simple book, and there's a Tabitha dress. It's kind of like a t-shirt dress with a drawstring around the middle, so it's quite an easy, quick one to do, and yeah, it's really comfy. And the only one thing I did different on this dress from my first version was actually added in a forward shoulder adjustment. Because I was finding my first one that the neckline felt a little high at the front, and I was looking online and I found that when I'm talking about, I found an article talking about forward shoulder adjustments and how you can tell if it isn't quite right because the seam on the shoulder doesn't sit quite in the middle of your shoulder. It sits a little bit too far back, I think it was, so you have to move it forward. So I used a really useful tutorial on the Sew Essential website, and I'll put a link down to that website below. It was a really straightforward adjustment to make, so just brought the shoulders slightly forward so the neckline sits slightly lower, and this version sits a little bit more comfortably around my neck and shoulders than my first version, so I was really pleased to have a go at that, because I thought that sort of adjustment might be quite complicated, but it was a lot more straightforward than I thought. So yeah, that's my Tabitha dress. I put a picture up of me wearing it. It's really comfy, really casual. I'd really recommend it as like an everyday dress. I think it's quite fun fabric. I used my prim tool to make eyelets here, which I think will hopefully enhance the life of the garment over using buttonholes. So yeah, that's a nice straightforward one. I'm really pleased to have used that fabric because it's quite fun and quite summery, so it seems a shame not to be wearing something with that. And then, for my final, oh no, I've got two more makes. The second to last one is this, using this fabric here. This lovely viscose mustard splodge from Fabric Godmother. So in my May haul I talked about this fabric and how I'd seen it go by quite a few times on Instagram and kept not buying it, and then eventually I thought, oh, I really just love it, I'm going to get it. So I got it from Fabric Godmother, and I got 1.5 metres, and I was thinking about making a top. And then I suddenly thought, actually, maybe it would be lovely as a dress, because I've already got a couple of leopard print tops. And I looked and I had enough fabric to make a dress, so I was really pleased. I could squeeze a dress out of 1.5 metres, and I'll put a picture of me wearing it up. And this is the Hinterland Dress by Sew Liberated. So I made the Hinterland Dress a couple of times before, but always with a placket. This is the dress, and it is designed to be made with a placket. But it's really easy to make a version with no placket front, just like this one. All you do is basically take the front pattern piece and cut it on the fold, and that creates a lovely front piece, just quite straightforward. So yeah, I made this Hinterland dress. I added in long thin ties, a bit like my Maya Sotis dress, because the Hinterland the pattern calls for shorter, wider ties, but I didn't think it would suit this sort of floaty fabric. And I really like the way that the facings put in around the neckline on this dress, because I think it makes it feel nice and light and summery, not too heavy. Having a facing, it's just this bias binding kind of facing. So yeah, that was my my Hinterland dress, and again I French seamed the shoulders and the side seams. So yeah, all French seams, so hopefully shouldn't fray and should last nicely. I just think it's quite fun, and I quite like the idea that this fabric, it's such a statement fabric. I like the fact that this dress is fairly simple, so it will really show off the fabric. And I even had enough fabric for pockets. I think, yeah, I did. I even had enough fabric for pockets, which I was really pleased about, because I didn't think I'd be able to squeeze pockets as well out of 1.5 metres. So sometimes if you have a little play around with fabrics, it can work. So that was my Hinterland dress. So I think that'll be a really nice summery dress, nice and light and swishy, quite a fun one. So that's that one, which takes me on to my final make, and I'm actually wearing my final make, which is the Kalle shirt dress by Closet Case Patterns. And here's the pattern. This was another new pattern for me, and a really enjoyable sew. I always find Closet Case instructions really good, and they really talk you through the process. So what I decided to do was, I decided to do the collared version in a dress length, but I decided to add the pop-over placket rather than the full-length placket. As you can see, I'll stand up so you can see, it just goes down to there. And I use this cotton gingham, sort of blue gingham from SewMeSunshine, which is lovely. It's kind of a nice structure to it to sew a shirt, but equally it's nice and lightweight for summer. And it's really enjoyable. And I had a bit of fun playing with the direction of the checks, so I've added on checks going across the grain on the shoulders and for the placket front. And then I pattern matched the pocket. I had fun doing that as well. So it kind of matches at the top and then kind of changes to sort of the opposite to kind of add a little bit of feature. And yeah, it's a really enjoyable sew, and I really want to make another one of these. I quite like to make a cropped version perhaps. But yeah, I really recommend it. I didn't make any alterations to the sizing. I did go for the smallest size on this pattern, although my measurements are actually across my measurements fit across sizes 2 to 6, but I actually went for size 0 because I heard it came up quite large, and I'm quite pleased with that because there's still plenty of room and it's not tight even at the hips, which are my largest measurements. So yeah, it was just a really enjoyable one. I really liked how the pop-over placket came together. And one of my favourite bits, which you can't even see, but it's a little secret sewing detail, is this, the hem. This is a bias bound hem. I think it looks so pretty with this diamond shaped gingham around the bottom. So yeah, that is really pretty. And I hadn't done a bias bound hem before, but it just works so well on a curved hem like this pattern here. So it did come up on the short side, so I'm wearing it today with leggings. But I think if you're on the beach or something, it'd be finer without. But yeah, it's just a really lovely one to sew. So I definitely make another one of those. Really recommend it, the Kalle shirt dress. So that brings me to the end of my makes in May. So yeah, I had a busy month and I'm really looking forward to getting some wear out of all of these garments. I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did enjoy it, I'd love you to give me a thumbs up down below, and if you haven't subscribed, that would be amazing if you'd subscribe to my channel. So my next video hopefully will be talking about my June fabric haul. So it's been really warm weather here, not actually today, but it has been warm weather, so I've been ordering a few really summery fabrics. So I've got a few lovely summery plans in the hope we'll have a bit more summer. So I'm really looking forward to sharing those fabrics with you. So hopefully I'll see you again then. In the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day, and thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.